Hi, I'm Cody.
Hey, I'm Becky.
And this is Sauced and Plated. We are going to be sharing some recipes with you.
Today we're going to make red wine braised short ribs over a garlic and cream infused smashed potato. So for this recipe, you're going to need about 5 pounds of a beef short rib, onion, carrots, celery, garlic, a cheap red wine, beef stock, chicken stock, potatoes, heavy cream, and then also for your fresh herbs, you're going to need some thyme, rosemary, and oregano, and parsley.
I'll go over the ingredients for that simple salad in a bit, but I'm glad you mentioned the cheap wine. I do want to talk about price. So for this particular cut of meat, these short ribs, these are not always available in every area or at every time. So you do need to make sure that your local grocer or market does have them. But they're about $5.99 a pound. So it doesn't look like a whole lot of meat, but this is actually going to feed a whole family and probably and usually with leftovers. So it's such a rich piece of meat that one piece will actually do you for dinner.
Exactly.
So for your vegetables, you're going to need 3 onions, 2 to 3 carrots, and 2 to 3 celery stalks. We like 3 because we like the extra flavor. You are going to just chop those into 1 to 1.5 inch chunks, just like this. Just a rough chop, okay? And then, same thing with your onion. And go ahead and show them those prepped veggies.
And that's our prepped veggies right there.
See?
And you don't even need to really worry about cleaning your carrots very well. I just wash them off and give them a little scrape with my knife because you kind of want that rustic look and flavor in there.
I scrape mine with a piece of wadded up foil.
I've never done that before.
That's how I do mine. You just take a little piece of foil and you just wad it up in the palm of your hand, and it will take everything off, but it still kind of leaves you a little bit of that for the
Look what I learned
flavor,
today,
that
y'all.
rustic look. Yeah.
So the very first step for this recipe is you want to take your meat out. I like to let mine come to room temperature just because it cooks a little more evenly. And you're just going to salt and pepper all sides of the meat. I like a generous salt just because that's going to help crust and caramelize when you go to sear the meat. And you want to salt, but you want to salt all sides, not just one side. You want to salt every single side of that meat.
This fatty backside, you want to salt that as well for searing. Okay, so now we are going to sear these babies. So I've got a pretty big pot here. You can also use something that's this size, but here I've got a little bit of a bigger pot. And we're going to put that on medium to medium-high heat. And when that pan starts smoking, we're going to add just a couple of tablespoons of vegetable oil. You think we need a little bit more?
Nope, that should be really good. Okay. And you're going to come right in with your meat. Hear that? That is the sound of delicious.
Sound of flavor. Okay, so you can see here how we've got these standing up on their side. No seasoning wasted. Becky's kind of rolling those in that leftover salt and pepper. Yes, we are going to dump that right in the pan. Yes, ma'am.
So you're going to sear these on all 4 sides. And we have tongs, but because my hands are clean, I've not touched anything else, I'm going to continue to touch this meat. Because I just like to pick mine up. And I don't know if you can see. This is beginning to brown. And some of these are going to cook.
That smells fantastic.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and some of these are going to cook and sear
a little quicker
than others.
Now, a tip when you're searing meat,
if
if it doesn't release from the pan, it's not ready. Like that one is still sticking a little bit. So you want to wait until the pan and the oil and all the seasonings have done their work, and then you want to pull it off in the heat, and then you can flip it. This goes for any type of
when it develops the crust you're looking for, it's going to release.
Right.
I think so too. Oh, it smells so good.
Okay, so we have finished searing off our meat. It's about 8 minutes. It's what's going to take you to do to move them around from side to side. So all we're going to do now is just move these, and you can see. I don't know if you can see that or not, but
how
it is delicious.
Delicious crust there.
And
that is all flavor.
Right. You're going to take these off, and you're going to move them over here to rest.
We are gonna let this meat rest in order to preserve its juices, its natural juices.
Especially when you cook meat on the bone. Especially when you cook meat on the bone is where all the flavor is. And then if you can see down in here in the pan,
all these flavor
drippings,
bits.
that's your salt and pepper that we talked about,
Yes.
and you can see that. So that's all of your fat and your salt and pepper. That's where your flavor is going to come from for this dish to do all the braising.
Yeah.
I can't wait. So we've taken our meat off to rest. So we have about 3 tablespoons of fat rendered down from the meat left in the pan. We're going to take those vegetables that we chopped up earlier. So this is your onion, carrot, celery, and we're going to dump it in there. And girl, you're just going to bathe it in the grease. So I'm going to go ahead.
I salt and pepper about half as often as you do.
I'm older and wiser.
Okay.
I'm a grandmother, are you?
And no,
I'm a granny.
but you're saltier
Great,
too.
I am saltier. We'll check back on these about 5 minutes and see how they look from here.
When are you gotta cue me. So to this, we are going to add, I don't know, 2 to 3 tablespoons of flour. Now we're adding a tablespoon of tomato paste. 1, 2, and 3, there's your tablespoon.
So our vegetables have now cooked down with that flour and tomato paste mix that Cody showed you earlier. We have a deep, nice red color.
That color.
And you can see the onions have caramelized, the carrots have caramelized. So what we're going to do next is we're going to add, you need an entire bottle of red wine. For this particular recipe, I like to use a cab. And when you're braising a dish, don't be worried about using a cheap bottle. This bottle is $3.99, y'all. I'm not going to drink this ever. I'm not going to put this to my lips ever. But for $3.99, you can braise a dish. And so I'm just going to show you. We're going to put this in, the whole bottle, and scrape up all the stuff off the bottom.
When you do that, you're going to be able to scrape on the bottom of this pan, and all those flavor bits and that oil and salt and pepper we showed you guys from the sear, we're scraping all that up, and you'll see it start to float to the top, and that's a ton of flavor.
So while that is, so what you want to do, you want this to reduce, your wine to reduce by about half. So you want to kind of turn your heat up a little bit.
Okay, so we are going to start adding our herbs. We're going to take this garlic clove. You're going to lay it on its side, and you're going to cut it just like this. Okay, so as you can see, all those cloves are right in half. You're going to just cut the whole head right in half. And then we've got 2 bay leaves. We've got 2 rosemary, about 10 or so thyme, and we've got probably 10 to 12 of this parsley. And then because of the area we live in, we could not get fresh oregano, but we did get this dried fresh. And we're going to do a couple of teaspoons, you know, so you're going to take your palm just like that and just make a little well in the middle, and we're going to dump that in there. Okay, and then we're going to add all of that to the pot. We're going to go over here.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go straight in with all of our herbs. Don't be afraid.
Do not be afraid.
Everything's been washed. Everything's been cleaned. And then you're going to go in also with 4 cups of beef stock. 4 cups, this box.
1 carton.
Dump it all in. Let it get all familiar in there. And now is probably when you're going to go ahead and preheat your oven to about 350. So, because this is going to cook for a couple of hours on 350. So go ahead and start preheating your oven. And remember these little bad boys?
Oh, how could I forget?
They're going to go night-night. They're going to go night-night down in here. You're just going to put them to bed. This is the best part.
You're going to just nestle them. All the babies in the hot tub.
And I'm just going to turn it up for just a skosh. Kind of let that, you want to let it come to a boil a little bit with everything in the pan.
So that all those flavors can kind of marry together.
And then once that comes to a boil, you're going to put a lid on it. I've been told that my whole life. Put a lid on it.
Same.
Put a lid on it.
Hard same.
put it into your oven at 350 for about 2.5 hours, and you will be rewarded with some fantastic deliciousness.
We're only showing it on camera. So once it's warm, we can sit it right over there out of shot. Sit it over there, and we're shooting this like this. You know?
This one is in the
It's not in the way. We're only going here.
That pan
And
is
then-
in the
No, and we're showing them that this is going while we are making potatoes.
Well, it goes in the oven.
I
know
can't
it
keep my
goes in the
pants
fucking
up.
oven. I
I'm
know it
having
does.
struggles over here. I really love this.
Okay, so while we have those ribs going on stovetop, I'm going to start on the roasted garlic mashed potatoes. So, as you can see over here, we've got these cut into just, you know, bite-sized chunks. Strive to make them all the same size so they will boil evenly. Okay, and these are going to go into this pot. We've got an entire carton of chicken stock here, and Becky also salted that aside from the chicken stock. And we're going to put that on high to boil those potatoes. Now these are gold. So we've left the skin on because they have a thin skin, and they whip up into a really creamy potato dish. So for the garlic cream, you're going to use heavy cream and roasted garlic. To roast the garlic, take a full head, cut it in half, wrap it in foil with an olive oil drizzle, and throw it in the oven at 300 for about 40 minutes. You'll be able to smell when it's done. Then squeeze the cloves out of the shell into the cream, add pepper, and steep before adding to your potatoes. Hello there. So we have drained our potatoes.
They're really hot too.
They are fork tender. That was about 12-15 minutes for that pot. We're going to add an entire stick of butter to the pot and let that melt down. What'd you do?
I broke it. I'm going to turn them on low. Because I want all that butter
Yeah,
and
that
salt.
mixer doesn't play either.
Yeah.
My stove and my
Everything in
oven.
your house is very aggressive. Everything is very aggressive here.
That's how we do.
And I still have the burner just on low a little bit because I want it to stay warm. There's our cream and garlic. I don't want to ruin, $50. I'm a little bit Republican. I do love my money. I'd make love to that type of mashed potatoes.
I'm going to love to the ribs.
Look at Can I wait to marry you both together? Ah, you're gonna be
I
so
can't wait to put you on top of you.
You're gonna be so good. And eat your babies.
Yes.
Really bad.
And make babies in my belly.
Fuck me.
Okay, so we had a little hiccup. I thought that I had all of the ingredients for the salad, but I didn't. So we are going to improvise, and this is a fun thing for you guys to watch. We do want a little simple salad on the side, so we're gonna go with what we have. So I have some butter leaf lettuce. I cut it a couple of times crossways and just made the bites a little smaller. Okay, so we're gonna do a couple of tablespoons of a roughly chopped parsley. And parsley has that wonderful fresh lemony flavor that I love. Okay, we are going to mince a little garlic in this. So this is one of my favorite. I have a lot of cool stuff in my kitchen, but this is one of my favorites. So it's this little rubber cylinder, and well, if I can get it to work, you're gonna take it, you're gonna rub your garlic in there, and it's gonna shoot out, and it's gonna take all the skin off. I don't know about you working in restaurants or anything, or just growing up and doing prep for parents or just like the older people in your life, but I have prepped enough garlic in my life that I don't ever really want to do it the hard way again. So this is how I do it. directly into the salad. I'm just gonna use a knife to get that off here. So much garlic in this meal. No regrets, right?
I'm not gonna kiss anybody goodnight.
You never know with me. All right, we're gonna put that in. Now, I had a jar of these pickled green beans. I use these in Bloody Marys. It's a nice little hangover cure. But they look like this. They're whole green beans. They're in garlic and vinegar. And I'm gonna take some of these pickled green beans and I'm gonna chop those up and we're gonna put those in. Slice that shallot. Oh yeah, that looks delicious. We're gonna break up those rings. We're gonna sprinkle those. Oh my God.
Get some help?
Love me some shallots.
Let me help.
Oh yeah,
Let me help you.
this is gonna be good. Yeah, let's go ahead and probably do about half of this one.
Those are
do you
very
want to
big
start?
shallots. Those are
They
serious
are.
shallots.
They're really big. They're aggressive. Do you want to start on a little vinaigrette over here? We're only going to use about half of that. Oh, that's a pretty salad too. We were worried about not having any color, but this is so pretty. Okay, so she's got a little Dijon mustard, spicy mustard, hot mustard, whole grain mustard would work. Whatever you have, just not yellow mustard. And so she's added about a tablespoon of honey to that. I think you're gonna probably, well, no, maybe not. Need a little more red pepper flakes.
Simmer down over there. Give me that whisk.
Salt and pepper. We're gonna whisk that up. And we're gonna pour, check this out, a little bit of that pickling vinegar right there. See how that turns out? Oh, yeah.
You ready?
Yeah. All right. Toss that up. Oh, that's gonna be delicious and pretty. And it's perfect. It's a simple salad. When I say simple salad, 4 to 5 ingredients, guys.
Just so passionate. Make me.
I didn't.
Me.
Oh my God.
This is my favorite part.
All right, guys. So we've got a shallow bowl here. Trust me, this is the best way to eat this. So our ribs are done. And look at this, guys. Oh, they're just coming apart.
Tastic like my life.
See that bone? They just fell completely off that bone. And we've garnished with a little bit of parsley here. And then we've got our salad. And it smells amazing. My mouth is watering and I cannot wait to try this.
Let's go all in.
Oh, I'm going all in.
Will you marry me?
Yeah. Oh. For sure.
Oh wait, there's salad. There's green stuff.
That's slamming. We tried the salad.
I'm gonna eat this big bite because you told him I like the big bite of lettuce.
You got a big
mouth.
I want some green bean in mine.
That's fantastic. Together,
So good.
somebody wipe us up right now.
Perfect. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm busy.
That salad, all those components in that dressing are just perfect. Those pickled green beans, the shallot, the parsley, the greens shine through. So good.
Will y'all marry me? I love taking a bite of something and it takes you somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this definitely does that. This is fantastic. Great job.